Okay. Hi, Luis. How are you doing? Um, okay, this is the last meeting we're having for this project, for this successful project, as you can see. Um, here we are having our last meeting just to get to know what are the lessons we have learned through this process. Okay, so we can improve, and the next project will consider all these factors and will be even better. Okay, what's the rationale of this report? Well, um, it only includes results that were unexpected through the whole process. They weren't on our risk matrix, um, but they happened. So let's analyze how they impacted the project and how we can do in the future for this. Okay, so they were out of our forecasts, uh, and they separate in two different groups, and it included outstanding performances and poor performances, which were out of our uh, projections for this project. Okay, let's start with a little summary. So we just split it into two different sections. One is outstanding, and they are all wins for our project, and the other ones are to improve. So uh, this has have been issues through our project. Um, so let's look into it. Let's start with our wins. So, okay, um, we had a defined, clear project and product scope, which is a win, and it was so accurate that it was unexpected the results that it provoked. Okay, so what happened? Well, the project team meticulously defined both project and product scope at the outset. This involves outlining the specific deliverables, objectives, boundaries of the project, as well as detailing the content and objectives of these educational workshops. Okay, what was the impact of this? Well, it provoked clarity in the project and the product scope, um, as they were in short, and it created this shared understanding among all the participants through the whole process, including project team and stakeholders. Facilitated a better decision making, minimized scope creep, and enabled efficient resource allocation throughout the project lifecycle. How does this change for future projects? Okay, but the future projects will benefit from establishing a clear scope, as we did now. And what we can do for that to happen is to incorporate a detailed scope definition phase into the initial planning, conduct regular scope reviews and updates to accommodate to any changes, and ensure all the stakeholders that they are actively involved in the scope definition. That's what we did, and that those were the results. So let's keep it going to the second point. Okay, maintained high participant satisfaction. Okay, uh, we didn't expect this to happen. We maintained a really high participant satisfaction ratings through our workshops. So despite of all the challenges that came through, the project got an average participant satisfaction rating of 80%. This was accomplished through the implementation of interactive activities, engaging presentations, and post-work resources aimed to enhance participant learning and engagement. Well, what was the impact of this? Well, not only validated the effectiveness of the workshop content, but it also contributed to positive word of mouth promotion, which is free and is really impactful, and increased credibility for future projects, for future workshops like this offered by us. Okay, what do we do with this for future projects? Okay, we should uh, focus on these three items. Okay, so solicit detailed feedback from participants to identify specific areas of strength and areas for improvement. Second, incorporate participant feedback into the design and refinement of the future workshops, and continue to invest in interactive and experimental learning techniques to maximize participant engagement and satisfaction. Okay, so those are the tasks we did through this successful process. Let's go to our third wing. Now we go into the online registration system implementation was successful. Okay, so what happened? Well, the project team successfully implemented this system for participants. The system streamlined the registration process, facilitated communication with participants, and improved and provided valuable data for tracking attendance and managing workshop logistics. What was the impact of this? Okay, it improved efficiency and convenience for both participants and us as organizers. So it reduced massively the administrative burdens, and it minimized errors associated with manual registration processes. Okay. Also, it enabled a real-time monitoring of participant numbers, allowing for timely adjustments to workshop logistics of resource allocation through the whole project life cycle. Okay, how does this impact for future projects? Okay, our future projects will prioritize the adoption of digital tools and platforms to enhance operational efficiency and participant experience for sure. What should we do to accomplish this in future projects? We should evaluate the effectiveness of the online registration system through participant feedback, which is always the best way to measure it. So for that, we will get analytics that will tell you if it's good or bad. And also identify opportunities to further enhance system functionality and user experience based on lessons learned and involving technology trends. And lastly, we should provide training and support to stakeholders involved in using and managing the system to maximize its benefits and usability. Okay, now let's go with the items that are not so good. So let's start with our marketing campaigns that did not reach target audience effectively. This was an issue for sure. Despite all the efforts to develop targeted marketing campaigns, the workshop did not attract as intended a diverse audience representation from um, different industries and sectors as we were expecting to. So these strategies failed to effectively reach this target audience, and it was worse than anticipated. Okay. Okay. What was the factor, the impact of this? So this limited diversity and workshops. It hindered the richness of discussion and exchange of perspectives. We noticed that the perspectives were too similar among attendants. Um, and also, it affected the overall success of the marketing efforts, which include high costs. Uh, how we should do in the future according to our analysis and the feedback. Okay, we should um, refine our tactics to engage these diverse audiences, um, and this might involve leveraging multiple communication channels, as we did not, and partnering with industry association, which is really useful as well. Um, okay, what actions specifically should we do to accomplish this? Is conduct a postmortem analysis of the marketing campaign, of every marketing campaign, and explore alternatives marketing channels. Um, of course, as I said, and establish partnership with industry-specific organizations to expand reach and increase the visibility of our workshops. Let's go to our next issue, which was the challenges in the trainer selection and coordination. Okay, so what happened? The process of selecting and coordinating these qualified trainers for the workshop, it was a very challenging process for us to do, as we have no experience in that. So it included difficulties in finding trainers with the requisite expertise, availability constraints, and alignment of training styles with the workshop objectives. So the impact of this was the process was delayed because we wanted to choose really accurately, so it got delayed. It created some disruptions in planning and some deliverables as they were planned. Additionally, mismatches in trainer expertise or teaching styles, and that impacted the overall effectiveness and consistency of the workshop experience for the participants. How should we do regarding to this experience? Okay, we should implement a more robust and proactive approach to trainer selection and coordination. This might involve expanding the pool of potential trainers, establishing clear criteria for selection, as we did not, and conducting thorough vetting processes to ensure alignment with our objectives. So, what are the specific actions that we should take in the future? They are okay, developing a comprehensive trainer recruitment strategy, establishing a clear expectations and guidelines for trainers regarding to workshop content, delivery methods, and participation iteration. And lastly, implement a contingency plan address to the high risk that we take since we have not too much experience to selecting trainers for workshops. So we need those contingency plans for that. Okay, now let's go to the last lesson learned from the project team, which is well, we had a limited post-workshop engagement and follow-up, which was one of our main goals to achieve from this project. So what happened specifically? There was a limited engagement and follow-up with the participants to support continued learning and application of acquired skills in their professional settings. These post-workshop resources and support mechanisms were not effectively utilized or promoted by our team. The impact of this was we had diminished the long-term impact and value of the workshop experience for participants, and it also at the same time we missed an opportunity to foster ongoing learning and networking opportunities, which is really important. So we missed that. And how will we do in the future in our next projects and workshops? For sure. Okay, what we will do will be placing greater emphasis on this post-workshop engagement and follow-up activities to sustain participant learning and engagement beyond the workshop sessions. So what should this involve as certain actions to take from the team? First, develop a post-workshop engagement plan outlining activities and resources to support continued learning and application of workshop contents. So, then establishing communication channels which weren't clear for this project, these communication channels. So this will be really useful to facilitate ongoing interaction and knowledge sharing among all of our participants. And lastly, we should monitor and evaluate post-workshop engagement in our metrics as we did not. So I think this was the biggest issue of all of them. But now looking at the bigger picture, we have learned that there's a lot to improve. There's a big margin for that, but on the other hand, the project was really successful and we did accomplish most of the objectives. Financially, it was really good for us, and we are building this brand on being one of the top brands for creating workshops, educational workshops. So, Louis, I think maybe you can leave me your comments as we are really eager to know what are your thoughts about this project, since you have this bigger picture view, and that can give us some really valuable feedback. So thank you so much for attending this meeting, and see you in the next one. So goodbye.